Welcome, everyone. I'm Aaron. This is Gavin for the Noble Dram. It's December, and that means one thing: presents. So join us tonight as we talk about gifts, both given and received.
Welcome, everyone. Merry Christmas. If you haven't heard it yet, we are so glad you're here. This is that time of the season where we may have just finished our turkey last week, and
I'm still up several pounds.
Are you stuffed?
Yeah. No, I'm dressed.
You're dressed.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like it. And now we're heading into the Christmas season. So with that, tonight we're going to talk gifts.
Yeah. I mean, it's my second favorite part of Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Number one is all the treats and all the snacks and all the parties and all the fun and all that. And number two is I get presents. I also enjoy giving them, but getting for sure.
I'm more of a gift giver. I like the gift giving side of things.
This is going to work out well for us this year.
For you mean?
For me, well, you get to give, which is what you love the most.
And you love to get.
I love to get.
All right. So tonight we have two bottles that were actually given as gifts to us.
Yeah.
So
we get to share. We get to share what we received.
That's right.
Right.
That's
really fun.
This is the part of gift getting that I enjoy, really.
Well, this is a little bit of both. We received, and now we get to give back.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
So, more importantly, why are these bottles the two we do tonight?
Ooh, good question.
They were gifts received for sure.
Uh-huh.
What else?
They were given by special friends of ours.
Yeah, and we've said this before. If you want your bottle on the air, you bring it over here, and it goes right to the top of the list.
We love getting gifts from our friends, but our other friends out there that we may not have met yet, you're not in the clear.
Yeah, no, I think Gavin and I both fall on the there are no such things as strangers, just friends we haven't met yet.
That's right.
So yeah, especially if those friends have bottles.
All right. So, hey, you want to hit us up with bottle number one?
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So first bottle up is 2XO's Oak Series American Oak. This bottle happens to be a gift from a friend of ours, Kaisser. Kaisser, for those who don't know Kaisser, I'm assuming some of you don't. Kaisser runs our local bottle shop, just right down the street. So he's where we go to get all of our wonderful treats. And so it's always nice when he gets a chance to come over, spend an evening sharing a pour with us. And the other night, he brought us the 2XO. I'll be honest, we had several guys on the patio. So this started as a new bottle on the back patio. And as you can see, we are a far cry from a new bottle anymore. All right, so as we get nosing into this glass, I kind of want to give you a little bit of details about 2XO. So I didn't know a whole lot about it other than it had a lot of internet buzz, right? And so when Kaisser showed up with the bottle, I was like, man, this is something I haven't had a chance to try. I've heard good things about 2XO. I've since done some research and found out a little bit more about the distillery and specifically this bottle. So this story starts with a gentleman by the name of Dixon Dedman. Dixon Dedman is of restaurant and hotel fame. His family owns the Beaumont Inn in Kentucky, right in the heart of the Bourbon Trail. James Beard Award-winning place, restaurant, and hotel. In 2000, make sure I get this right, 2014, he revived and began selling what I would consider to be high-end blended bourbons under the name Kentucky Owl. Right? It was a name that was all the rave years ago. That was like one of the more sought after bottles, was trying to find you a bottle of Kentucky Owl. Kentucky Owl back in 2021, 2020, somewhere in that range, he sold off to large liquor producer and kind of got out of the whiskey game. Then back in 2022, he starts 2XO. So Dixon is a pretty established quality blender,
Mm-hmm.
but at 2XO, he did something different. At 2XO, the thought process is everything is double oaked. Some of those releases are refinished in a second cask. This one, however, is the first what they refer to as standard release. Right? Everything up until then was small batches, one-off, specialty runs. This one gets a little cryptic in their description. This no longer says finished in the second barrel. This says with additional exposure to charred oak in the original barrels. So my inference, and a lot of internet sleuths have been inferring, that doesn't mean they moved it from one barrel to another. They added charred staves to the original barrel
okay.
to add more oak content, thus the second oaking, so to speak. So this starts as a...
So wait a minute. Did they add staves like inside the barrel?
In the barrel is what it sounds like.
Okay.
Nothing definitive, but the way they've described it seems consistent with whether it's a charred oak stave or charred oak chips that get added to the barrel, trying to significantly increase the surface area of contact between the oak and liquid, right, by increasing the amount of oak in the barrel.
And we call the chips in the barrel wood candy.
Yes. No. So yeah, when you dump that barrel and all that charcoal bits that are loose, yeah, they don't taste like candy. They're just FYI. It makes your teeth look funny if you eat them. Sorry, I caught you right in mid-sip. All right. This starts as a high rye bourbon.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the neighborhood of 18% rye. Then gets aged. This is about a 5.5-year-old bourbon that then gets these additional oak staves, chips, whatever we think they are, added to that barrel for its final aging process.
Okay.
So that being said, I know you've been sniffing and tasting over there, but I want to get to a fun story, right? So we started this talking about how fun it is to receive gifts at Christmas. Right? So the question becomes, thinking back of all the whiskey gifts you've received, what's that one that kind of always kept a special place in your heart, right? Doesn't have to be the most extravagant gift. Doesn't have to be the most well thought out gift. Sometimes gifts just strike you special, right? So what is that special thing you received?
So I actually brought it. So it's a bottle.
Wait, is that a bottle of Crown?
It's a bottle of Crown.
It's a mini bottle of... It's an empty mini bottle of Crown.
It's an empty. So this bottle was given to me by my brother. And this bottle was actually a part of my dad's whiskey cabinet. And my dad passed away just a few months before I got married. And so my brother actually brought this bottle to my wedding. Okay. And my groomsmen and I sat in our room and had some pours out of it, and also may have made some buttery nipples out of it.
Wait, you used Dad's bottle to make buttery nipples?
We did. I mean, we had straight.
How much other whiskey had you drank at this point?
Who knows?
Enough.
There's enough in there. So to me, there's nothing like That's special bottle. And I don't typically keep my empties. There's a few empty bottles that I will keep for sentimental reasons. This is one of them.
The only empty bottle I own is a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue. It's a 375 too, that a buddy of mine splurged and got when my daughter was born, and that's what we sat around the back patio and toasted. None of us were big whiskey drinkers at the time, but we knew that was a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I should say it was an expensive one. Yeah, that one was a special one to me.
So that's, to me, this is one of the best.
It's a great one.
Yeah, it wasn't a Christmas gift, but it was the best gift.
It's not a monetary value.
Nope.
It wasn't the rarity of the liquid. It was the story that surrounds the bottle, which I think is awesome.
Yep.
I think it is awesome.
So I'm going to throw that back at you.
Okay. Man, my story sucks compared to yours. Yours is a much better story than mine. So my wife does an excellent job.
Your wife?
She does an excellent job of thinking up or coming up with clever, I'll say, twist ideas. I like this. She's like, well, it's got a bit of that, but it's got something else, something different to it. So when I first got into whiskeys, was right around the time I had changed my job and I had moved into sales. And one of the complaints I lamented to my wife was that I had lived like most people did at the time, or still do. I used the phone for everything. It was my clock and it was everything else. Yep. And what that meant was, if I ever needed to check the time, I had to take my phone out of my pocket to look at it. And I felt like that, I'm not saying it was disrespectful to the people you were talking with, but it certainly conveys a level of something on my phone's more important than you are. And so I commented on the fact that, well, just one time in passing, that I would be interested in a watch. Just to go back that way, then I could look down real quickly and check the time. My wife found a company online that makes watches with wooden inlays. And this watch happens to be made out of old Jack Daniels barrels. I know I'm not a big Jack Daniels guy, but this is made from old Jack Daniels barrel wood. I'll pigtail on that over my life, especially as a married man. I put on weight and I've lost weight, right? But when I put on weight, then I couldn't fit my wedding ring on anymore. And so my wife said, we need to get you a new wedding ring. She was clever enough to know not to leave me unchained, running loose in the wild.
Got to put a ring on it.
And so she found a company online that makes wooden wedding rings. This one happens to be the wood on the inside of the ring is actually from an old Lagavulin Scotch barrel. And so I've got a number of gifts that have been made with whiskey wood that in some way, shape, or form has a special tie. And it's not that it's whiskey. The whiskey is just a little carrot on top of the fact that, my wife was listening and thinking and perceptive enough to pick up.
Enough.
All things that I struggle with, right? She gives lots of hints and I miss every single one of them.
Typical man.
Yeah, no, I've got that problem. I do. I'm a little too typical. All right. But my mediocre story after your great, my father who passed away, his last bottle from his collection. There will come a day.
Not to one up you.
There will come a day when my dad's collection becomes my collection, and I don't know where I'm going to put any of that stuff because my dad's as big a whiskey nut as I am, and so I may not get to the end of my dad's whiskey collection.
We just may have to drink all of yours so that we can fit your dad's.
It will be a sad day when my dad is gone. I would miss him immensely. He's meant the world to me. But we could film episodes for years and just work through the bottles I get from him. Yeah, I look forward to the chance of putting Dad on air.
Me too.
We'll see if we get there.
Me too. I'm excited about that day.
I think my fear is that the episode will be 4.5 hours long because my dad has a favorite saying. He says, that guy, he just gets to listen and then won't stop. He talks forever.
That's brilliant.
All right. We talked a lot. Let's talk about 2XO's American Oak.
So,
other than the obvious, overwhelming vanilla and oak notes on the nose, what else do you get?
I get a bit of licorice, a little bit on the nose.
A little black licorice? Yeah, I can see that. Not red Twizzlers.
Not red Twizzlers.
I actually get, I'll say the vanilla is probably more pronounced than the oak for me. But I also get a bit of a citrusy note to it. On the nose more than I think on the palate, though.
You know, I didn't get that until you said it. So the power of persuasion.
So we've discussed the power of perception, and now the power of persuasion.
Yep.
Next will be the power of percussion.
Ding.
we need. I keep promising I'll do things in post editing, and then I have to spend hours upstairs trying to figure out how to do that on my computer. I got to stop doing it. We're not going to add a rim shot in unless I find it really easy, and then I'll figure it out.
We'll see. So on the palate.
Yeah, so I will say I think the oakiness comes a little bit more pronounced in the palate than it was on the nose. I also get a nuttiness.
What kind of nuttiness?
Not quite peanuts, but not almond. Maybe cashews. Kind of oily cashew kind of thing going on. Mm-hmm. More of a roasted, not the. I say raw. I guess raw is the right word. Raw cashews. One of my favorite parts of a charcuterie board, right? Which is clearly by now the world is all they're talking about is how much better my food pairing team is than yours.
Charcuterie.
The little grocery store closest to us has got the little health food bins, and they have got like 48 different flavors of roasted cashews and peanuts and pecans.
You are a whiskey nut.
All right. Double down on the nut part.
Yeah. Ba-bing. All right.
Finish wise, what are you getting?
You know, the first sipper, this is actually the first sipper of the night for us. I did get a little bit more of that spice. Just a hint. Not a lot, just a hint. But then as I've sipped it more, I'm not getting that quite so much. I feel like
I'd agree with you. I thought on the first sip, I thought black pepper came to mind.
Yeah.
On the second and third sips, the citrus note kind of became more pronounced for me.
Agreed.
What I will say is all of that is the first part of the finish. And then it rapidly turns into tannic oak and becomes very dry for me. The oily cashew kind of thing that you get on the mouthfeel while you're swirling around, completely gone on the finish.
Yep, agreed. All right.
I'll be honest, I expected it to be spicier. I expected nutmeg, allspice. I expected more of that given how high the rye was in the mash bill.
Yeah.
I really was surprised. This is much different than I expected it to be, and I'm trying really, really hard to remember what we thought of it when we were sitting out on the patio that first night. I'll be honest, the problem is this wasn't the only bottle on the patio. This was certainly not the first bottle on the patio. So that tends to make it hard for me to remember what it tasted like sitting on the patio. Right? I think like I had a buddy years ago he used to refer to as that after a few spirits, he ends up in the spirit world.
Oh my gosh.
That was his way of
oh my gosh.
It was a classier way than saying I got drunk on my patio.
I mean, then we just live in the spiritual world.
Yeah, it's got a very distinct toasted oak kind of aroma to it now that I've sat here and tasted more and more and more.
So this is American oak.
They don't say what the second oaking is, but I think the implication with the name is that it's an American oak barrel and then American oak staves or chips or whatever gets added to it. So it's American all the way around. Perhaps we should have saved this for the 4th of July episode instead of December episode.
Yeah.
Sorry. Man, maybe we'll revisit. Yeah. See if our scores change.
We like to revisit.
That's exactly what we need to do is start doing repeats on this show when we have so many to get through the first time.
You never know.
All right. Rule is if I present the bottle, you have to give score first. So where do you put this one?
By now, our friends out there that are watching know that I'm an oaky kind of guy. To the thing, because I am from Oklahoma.
You're an Okie?
I'm an Okie kind of guy.
You're not from Muskogee, are you?
I'm not, but I am an Okie.
Shame. It would have been better if you were.
So it actually probably would. It would track a little bit better. I'm sitting wildly at an 85.
Guy, man, seriously, 85. You like that one?
I did. I know somebody that might know how to get this bottle.
So this one, I don't know if this is still on the shelves.
Actually, that's
or
probably
not.
fair. I was going to ask, do you remember when Kaisser brought this over?
So this, I don't. It would have been probably about 6 months ago. So we're talking in mid-year, late spring, early summer kind of thing of 2024. This is the September 2023 release. So that's when they would have bottled. Takes a while to get through distribution, makes it all the way down here to Texas and gets finds their way out on the shelves. MSRP on this one was $50. So I think it's a very reasonably price pointed whiskey. But I'll be honest, my number was a 74. This reminds me of Woodford's Double Oak. It's got a lot of that same kind of drying, almost tannic, bitter kind of finish that is not my favorite.
I think this is way better than the Woodford.
I'm looking. I keep notes for a reason. You gave the Woodford an 82, and it went to 85.
Yep.
I gave the Woodford a 71. I gave this a 74.
Okay, so it tracks.
Yeah, I think it's a little better. It would be fun to sit and put a splash side by side. Maybe post recording we can do that before we get to editing things. But I'd be curious to see where those stack up side by side. But
I think we need to do a double oak show.
It reminds
your
me,
worst nightmare.
It reminds me of like the woodiness of shop class when you were in high school. Like everybody's making a clipboard or a shelf out of oak in like sophomore year of high school.
And you don't want to drink that? I mean, come on now.
Maybe not. Maybe I don't.
So
like the guy's got his board into the table saw a little wonky and it's burning the whole way through. It kind of reminds me of that.
I love the smells.
All right. I think what we should do is try the second bottle, see if I like it better.
Ooh, I like this idea.
That's where I like
this idea.
All right, so start with what is the bottle.
The bottle.
I want you to pour it, and then I want you to tell us all about.
All right, I want you to take this one off.
No, I'm gonna put it here.
Yeah,
I want to keep it on screen for those people that want to remember what it was we were drinking.
So this bottle, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, is the Old Charter Oak.
Ooh.
And this is the French Oak. I guess I should do this.
I get the feeling somebody loves us a lot.
Yes. So this is our.
This is not an easy bottle to come across.
Pour. So this bottle also comes from our good buddy, Mr. Steven. Again, kind of harken back to our Halloween show where we talked about the Jack Daniels on our launch night for the Noble Dram. Steven also provided this bottle on that same night. So,
clarify, just make sure we're on the same page. The Jack Daniel bottles were from Bill. This bottle's from Steven.
That's correct.
They were both received on the same night.
That's correct.
Not suggesting that either of them were in cahoots with each other on what they brought.
Well, they could have been.
Maybe the question is, when this is all said and done, we need to go look at the scores and see if we like Bill's gift better than Steven's.
And then let them fight it out.
Yeah, like maybe fisticuffs need to be involved for who's the best buddy of the Noble Dram. I'll be honest, Steven's bigger, but Bill's scrappy. I don't know.
Bill's military.
Bill strikes me as the kind of guy who spent a lot of time scrapping. I don't know.
No, I'm sure
I'm not going to throw down with either of them.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna sit here and just drink.
Lover, not a fighter.
Distill my heart.
Can I tell the story? So
Yeah.
so Gavin and I find ourselves at the Michter's Distillery, and Gavin and I both pick up this shirt unbeknownst to each other as we're walking around the store. Like, this one's cool. I like this one. And then we got over to the cash registers and realized we were both going to buy the same shirt. And I was like, wait, we can't really do that. And Gavin and I both agreed that there was a shirt that was a close second. And so one of us was going to get that shirt and one of us was going to get the Distill My Heart shirt. And then we go over and the other shirt is not available in my size, only in Gavin's mediums. And so Gavin had to buy the other shirt. That was just the way it went.
It's all right.
So now I think he takes it personally every time I wear it.
Every time you wear it, I have to call it out.
I love it. All right.
So Old Charter Oak.
Tell us more. So
this
without reading the back of the label.
Oh,
that's tough.
Or quiz. I'm just gonna blur it out.
Now I want to.
I mean, I have basic.
To correct you when I
have basic. Yeah, right.
The good news is my eyesight's not good enough. I can't hardly read that.
I like this idea. So I do have my notes here, so forgive me. So Old Charter Oak. It's this specific expression is part of a collection of different oak. It's a different oak series, basically. So I think there's 4 different oak series. There's a French, Canadian, Chinkapin, and Spanish. So this is the French oak expression of it. It is obviously aged in French oak barrels.
Okay.
It comes down...
Which is a misnomer about bourbon. I want to interject here for just a second. Most guys, and including myself, when I first started drinking bourbon, I understood the rule that it needed to be aged in an American white oak barrel.
It does not.
But that's not what the rule says. It says oak.
Yeah.
Actually, it says oak vessel. I think. I don't even. Think
I think you're right.
I don't. I guess you can make a wooden crate and fill of whiskey, right?
Right. So this typically comes in around 12 years, aged in the French oak barrels, and it actually comes from Buffalo Trace. So this is Buffalo Trace Mash Bill number 1.
Now the Mash Bill number 1, is that the low rye?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is very heavily corn, somewhere right around 89.5% corn.
Oh, so we're talking 80-90%.
Right. And then less...
Because Buffalo Trace doesn't actually...
They don't
admit their grain profile.
They don't tell you this is what we're kind of speculating, right?
Yeah.
That we're about 89-ish% corn, right around 9 or 10% rye, and then whatever that remainder is typically the barley.
That's like 1.5%.
Right.
Like, it's small.
So if you hearken back, I've used that word twice and I like it, to our previous episodes where we tasted the benchmark, that was also this same mash bill.
Really?
Yes. Also the E.H. Taylor.
You can't go wrong with an E.H. Taylor.
Also,
this is shocking to me.
Yeah.
That we are not that many episodes in, and we've already done 3 Buffalo Trace products with all the exact same mash bill. We'll have to go back and look at our scores
and track it. Yep.
Man, now I'm wondering what I'm trying to pick up the similarities between this and EH.
So when we look at kind of where the Old Charter Oak story and name comes from, it actually honors the historic character. This is coming from them.
This sounds like marketing jargon.
Right. The name honors the historic character of Charter Oak tree, a symbol of American independence. So going back to we should have maybe tasted this on the 4th of July.
We got 2.
There's 2 of them.
Oh, man. I'm terribly sorry to have screwed up everyone's calendars. Put this one away. We'll come back and
come back to it.
Maybe we'll take the 4th of July off and we'll just repost.
We'll just drink and not film anything.
Oh yeah, that could be dangerous. We do candid shots of just us drunk on the patio.
I like this idea. Hey, if you,
I think the first social media post we ever made
exactly, that's where I was going.
Yeah, was on the back patio.
Back patio drinking on 4th of July.
Yeah, the fact that anybody watches after seeing us in that video is surprising.
So, so we talked about some of the favorite gifts that we were given.
Okay.
As we're sitting here nosing and sipping on this, can you give us some gift ideas that we would recommend to folks out there for their whiskey lovers?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this comes up a lot, right? And I think there's a lot of stuff out there that are good ideas and a lot of things that are gimmicky nonsense that don't really work. And so let's steer you in the right direction. So the first thing I'll say, whiskey tastes better out of the right glass.
Ooh, yeah.
So if your whiskey friend doesn't have a Glencairn, which is the official tasting glass of Scotch whiskey, but often used for all other kinds of whiskey. The concept here is that it's a little bit bigger at the base, so that way then it exposes a little bit more air, helps things air out a bit, but the tighter nick at the top allows it to concentrate, so you can get your nose in and really smell stuff. One of the fun caveats. I'm gonna borrow your glass. See how close you are at this.
Absolutely.
One of the fun caveats: if done properly, a Glencairn glass, when poured to its widest point, is a full pour, full 2 ounces. That also means that if I lay it over on its side, that whiskey will come right to that front edge of the glass. You can see here. You already took a sip, so maybe you were a little heavy to begin with. But it's always a fun trick. If you nail it, you can lay that glass over on the bar, and it scares most everybody because it looks like you're going to pour it out all over the place. So what I'll say is, most people who are whiskey fans probably have a glass. If they're like me, they have a conundrum. I want to go somewhere, but I'm afraid I'm going to break my glass when I travel. Or, like us, we have a pool out on the back patio, and the last thing I want to do is have a broken glass get either on the patio, somebody hurt themselves, or worst case, in the pool. So I found this. Let me start with, nothing we are going to talk about today has been sponsored in any way, shape, or form. This is our opinions. If you make the product and want to send us money, we will let you, but that's not why it's here. So this is a double wall stainless steel, think Yeti glass. Not made by Yeti though. But the shape of the inside is the exact same shape as the inside of a standard Glencairn. This allows me to take this on the run. If I'm traveling and I want to take it, this fits right over the top of the bottle, makes it easy to tote around. And if I drop it, it doesn't break. I've actually got one of these that got a pretty good sized dent in the side where it did get dropped.
We call them whiskey dents.
Whiskey dents. I'm covered in whiskey dents. But no, this is a fun one for me. So glassware, whether it's low-ball glasses, high-ball glasses, Glencairn glasses, a good glass goes a long way towards a tasty beverage. I'll put that here. And the other one I have is a little bit of your keepsake memento thought process behind your dad's last bottle. I have a problem that says when I get partway through this bottle, it dawns on me there's going to be a day where I don't have any left in that bottle. And so what I did is I went and I got online, and you can buy empty little liquor bottles. This one happens to hold 50 cc's, 50 milliliters, right? That is just under 2 ounces. So it's a full pour. I take a little funnel out and I top off one of these and screw the cap on. And then I can put this away for God, I hate to have lost that one to eternity. Maybe there's a day on which I'll get an opportunity to go back, or I'll get another bottle of this later and I'll be like, I wonder how that compares to that bottle I had several years ago. I went one step further. I went online and bought me a little wireless label printer. This allows me to have more legible penmanship and sticks a little nicer to the label. So yeah, I've got boxes of these little bottles that I've kept. The idea here is I've removed as much of the airspace, minimized the chance of oxidation. These should stay just like they do in the regular bottle. indefinitely. The other fun part of this is if I get near the end of a bottle and I'm trying to make shelf space, right, which happens a lot in this room, I might fill 3 or 4 of these. And then when I go to visit somebody, I take them one, right? It's a good way to share things you've tried with other people that didn't get a chance to come to your room and sit down and try your whiskey. You can take it to them. So I use them as stocking stuffers when we do whiskey tastings here. I'll leave a bowl of them by the front door saying, hey, come in and help yourself. These are some of the things that we've had here and thought were fun, and let people take them home with them too. So I think it's a fun way to continue this idea of sharing, both receiving and giving gifts, right?
No,
Sure.
I love those ideas.
All right. So if you were asked the same question, this is the theme for tonight, right? You ask me, I ask you, vice versa.
Right.
What are a couple things that you think, man, those are fun gift ideas?
So my top recommendation would be, well, before I go there, let's go to a couple ideas, and then we'll end on that top one. So Aaron and I both like to journal out a little bit of thoughts and a little bit of notes.
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
what these are. I have shelves at home just full of journals. My thoughts from work, from just normal day, from Bible study, and anything, right? Like,
is it you with your name and hearts around it, and somebody else's last name?
That's right. You know, the little
so and so picked on me in homeroom class today.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
I get you.
So
got one whole one just about the Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys is back.
Oh, right. No, I didn't mean for you to sing.
So one of my main recommendations is to maybe find a whiskey journal. And whether it be just a normal kind of just ruled moleskin or journal, those are great opportunities for folks to go in and write kind of what they're tasting, what they're nosing, all of that. But you could go one step further than that and find a journal. And this is one that we have laying around here that actually has a bit more information and more guide to kind of figure out, what's on the palate, where the origin of the bottle was, what's the age, what's the price, what would you rate it, kind of that flavor wheel, kind of the color distinctions, all of those things.
It's fun because you sometimes forget what you thought of a bottle. Sometimes you go back and try a bottle that you've had before and you weren't a fan of, and now you kind of like it a little better, right? Like your palate has changed with time. Sometimes it's the exact opposite. This used to be one of my favorites, and now I go back and try it, and I'm not a big fan. What better way to get a glimpse of the whiskey journey you're on than to be able to go back and look at a snapshot of where you were?
Right. And you can get something as simplistic as what we just showed, and then they've got out on the market basically whiskey.
Oh, yeah, like
full out
leather bound.
Yeah, I mean,
all sorts of fun
the whole
stuff.
Thing. So those are really good ideas for your significant other or your friend to be able to get their thoughts out. One other thought is for those folks that are kind of on the go with their whiskey. You may take a bottle or want to take a couple bottles to a gathering, right? To a bottle share, to kind of what we do here in the back patio or here in this room. So a bottle bag or a bottle carrier or caddy, those things are really fun, right? And I know there's a lot of guys in our group that have a couple different versions of those. Some of them are, very intricate and leather and big and bold. We also have some, this guy right here. We also have some.
Why would you have a case that only holds 4 if you could have one that holds 6 or 8?
Right. Exactly.
Nobody's ever gotten there and said, I brought too much whiskey. That's my argument.
So
probably wrong, but that's my argument.
So that's one of those things that I think for those that are on the go, really good ideas. You could even go a little bit smaller, and so we've got these little flight bottles here. This brand also has a glass marker that you can mark on the glass here to kind of notate what your little bottles are filled with.
Yeah. So one of the things, I've got several buddies that have sets like this. And one of the nice parts is they'll come over in an evening and have these bottles that are unmarked. They're just numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we get to sit down and try them. And then at the end, we get to tell us what it was that we were trying, right? So rarely do we really get a truly blind tasting. That's a fun way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I've even done those where I send either my wife or my child in here and say, pour 4 bottles, write a number on each one, then take a photograph with the bottles behind the little tasters. And then we take the taster somewhere else. And then later on that evening, we text and ask for the answer key, right? And it's fun, right? So part of the challenge and the fun is trying to guess what it is,
Right.
As opposed to just sitting down and enjoying it for what it is. What I've found, I think we probably all admit to this, is that we kind of tend to like one brand because of namesake,
Mm-hmm.
or dislike a brand because of namesake, right? Just in my own existence here recently, this kind of coming to the fact that I might actually like Jack Daniels more than I let on, or more than I was willing to admit. Let me put it that way. So yeah, I think it's a wonderful thing to be able to tote stuff around with you. So
I got one more. I got one more. One more. And this is my number one recommendation. If you have a significant other that is a whiskey lover and you don't know really what to get them, my number one recommendation would be to find or know what their favorite shop is. Go into that shop, that bottle shop, that liquor store, and find that shop owner, find that employee that might know them. Go talk to them, because most likely, if they're nerds like we are, they're probably talking to those people, and they're probably putting their ear
for sure
to the floor trying to find that whiskey that they've been searching for. So
almost every bottle I've received as a gift came with I stopped in and talked to Kaisser, and Kaisser said, you'd like this one. And so, yeah, then I have to send 2 thank yous, one to the guy who gave me the gift and then one to Kaisser for recommending the bottle.
So that would be my number one recommendation.
Yeah, can't go wrong with a bottle of whiskey.
And for me, my wife, she's like, man, I don't know what to get you. I'm like, go to that shop, find a bottle. I don't care what it is. Honestly, it could be rock gut whiskey for all I care. It's the thought that counts. I'm gonna drink it, but
not a quitter either.
Not a quitter. Right?
So I mean, we did do Evan Williams, Jack Daniels, and Jim.
I wasn't gonna say it, but you know. But again, go have those conversations. Most of the time, those folks in those stores, in those aisles, really enjoy the conversation, honestly, and get to know the other half of the person that they've been spending their Saturday mornings with.
Yes, for sure.
So,
all right, real quickly, we want to give you a couple warnings, because there are gifts that we're not big fans of.
Fair.
So, Gavin, if you were to tell people right now, don't waste your money on that, what is it?
Whiskey Stones.
Yep, I agree with Gavin. I completely agree. They can keep a drink cold, but they can't get a drink cold.
Yep.
If you want your drink cold, the freezer and ice cubes are by far and away the best. What I'll say is, if what you don't like is your drink melt or your ice melting and watering your drink down, pour it over ice, stir or shake, strain it into your glass, and then drink it from there. Right?
It will stay. It will stay.
It's cold, and it won't continue to water down.
It's going to stay the same temperature as those Whiskey Stones, pretty much. Because the Whiskey Stones, for me, I have several. I have a few sets given as gifts. They'll keep it chilled for all of 5 minutes, and then I feel like it's already room temperature almost.
I can't seem to put enough Whiskey Stones into a glass to get a drink cold.
Agreed.
Certainly not ice cold.
Right.
I'll also say, when you go to put your Whiskey Stones in your glass, be careful. You are throwing rocks into a piece of glass. Just throw that out there. Seen a dude once. He picked them up and threw them in like they're ice cubes, just right through the bottom of the glass.
Yep.
All right. So for me, this is where I'm going to get hate mail. Everybody who is a cocktail drinker has been given the smoke your own cocktail kit. that comes with a little pouch of shavings. And then you work like crazy to smoke this cocktail. And then what you realize is you just filled the room with smoke and you can smell the smoke in the air. But I don't think it actually changes the taste of your cocktail much. The amount of smoke in contact with liquid is so minimal. We actually did this as a, although very unscientific experiment. We smoked a glass. We wet a glass down and smoked it. Then we smoked a drink, and then we tried them both in the glass, then poured them into a different glass. So we got it away from the glass and separately. And honestly, could not taste any differences in the drink. It was almost always you could smell smoke in the glass as you were taking the sip.
Oh.
I'm not positive it wasn't the room. It didn't really matter. So my argument is get a fire pit and sit on your back patio and enjoy smoke in your face while you drink your whiskey.
I like this idea.
Go big or go bold, right?
That may be an episode in the future.
All right. So let's give it some tasting notes and let's put a number to this.
All right.
Before we hit the hour mark.
All right. So this is my pour. That means.
Oh, I got to go first. All right. So
no.
So let's talk about taste before we give the numbers. So I get vanilla. I get a bit of oakiness. It's got that 12-year age, not oaky like the 2XO was. Right. I'll say this is a softer, dustier oak, not quite that sharp, fresh cut oak kind of note that I got on the 2XO bottle. I think the thing that I noticed on the nose and then picked up again on the palate that I found interesting was berries. I get like a strawberry, raspberry, very subtle, but berries. Maybe blackberry, raspberry, that kind of berry.
Schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
Not blueberry.
I got cherry.
Is that schnozberry?
Is that schnozberry? I got cherries.
A little more on the nose, yeah. Kind of cherry sours. Not
like we went to Buc-ee's.
Yeah. For those who don't live near a Buc-ee's.
I'm sorry.
For shame.
I'm sorry.
Move. They're the best. Yeah, the little sour cherry ball candies that are gummy on the inside, the unbelievably thick candy coating on the outside that leaves the inside of your mouth a little bit tarted up when you're all done.
Tarted up, yep.
We're just making up words in this show.
On the nose, to me, kind of that vanilla cupcake with buttercream icing.
Yeah.
None of that whipped cream. I mean, it's buttercream.
Yep. Maybe that's where that vanilla comes from me. Yeah. It's spicier. This has got a bit of that baking spice note on the palate and on the finish. I get a little pepper on the finish, especially as it kind of lingers. I think the finish actually starts a little oakier and fades away from oak, whereas the 2XO started away from oak and then really fell into oak. The finishes are running in opposite directions.
It's well, what I should say is I think the French oak in it provides a more creamier taste to it.
Yeah, I cannot argue with that.
I think there's a creamy, like almost like a creamy chocolate on the palate. Slight spice. It's not over oaked, but I feel like it's there's a lingering to it. This one was the 2XO was very like sharp on its oakness as it was on the back palate on the finish.
I thought it was more youthful in its oak.
That's probably
is that a fair way to describe it? It felt greener, yes, dusty and old.
Yeah,
This has got Old Barn
Yes.
kind of going on.
Yeah.
This had shot class,
Ooh,
right?
I like the comparison.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. So
You want me to give it a number?
I want you to give it a number.
You're going to pick a number 1 point higher than mine. This is kind of the theme to these.
Mm.
I'm at an 88. I think that is excellent. It is. I know I've given a couple bottles in that range, that upper 80s. This one is different than those, right? The European oak has got a different flavor than American oak does. It's not as vanilla-y, not as caramel, not as sugary, more buttery, more creamier, more spicy kind of thing to it. But I think that's an excellent pour. I feel like I owe Kaisser an apology that I like Steven's bottle so much better. But
well, Steven could have got this at Kaisser's.
Yeah, these both may be Kaisser books. Who knows?
Who knows? I don't know.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he did. Now that I think about it.
I kind of have to agree with you.
What? You always give a different number.
I know.
This is weird.
I'm like at.
Did you say? Are you 88?
I am like the DeLorean. We're driving down, and we're about to hit.
I think this happened last episode too. That we both tied at an 88.
Like this is. It's hard to meet perfection. So getting up in those 90s is really hard.
Yeah.
This is.
If this had just a skosh more sweetness, I think this pushes into the 90 range to me. Right?
It is.
This has got so much of the French oak, and I understand that's what it was going for. If it just had
this went for French oak? What?
If this had just a little bit more of that vanilla caramel sweetness of an American, like that combination. I don't know where you get. Maybe they move French oak plants to America and let them grow here.
This is where I'm going to disagree with you. I think it has enough of that vanilla. I didn't get the caramel side of it at all, but I think it's a cherry vanilla cola. For my cola fans out there,
it's like RC.
It's RC.
Cherry RC.
I
got tab all over it.
It is there. So, but I settle with Back to the Future. Let's go 88 miles per hour.
So 88's around.
Yep.
Gavin and I disagree on 2XO, but we both emphatically agree on Old Charter Oak. So,
you know what that means?
It's time to say goodnight.
Well, between the two, Steven won out on this round.
I don't want this to be a competition, but Steven won.
Steven won.
But I'm gonna give half credit to Kaisser because I think Kaiser's the one who helped him
probably
with the bottle. So let's get my glass right. I wanted to finish it, but I knew we needed to cheers before we got to the end. First, let me say thank you. Let me reiterate Merry Christmas to everybody out there. We hope you have a wonderful, happy holidays, and join us each and every week as we go through all the way up till Christmas Day. That will be a fun one for sure. As always, if you've had them, if you love them, if you hate them, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave us a comment down below. Make sure to click subscribe. It means a lot to us. Lets us know that you guys are out there. And thank you. Cheers.
And Slancheva.
We want to thank you, our noble listener, for joining us.
We believe each whiskey has a story, and so do you. So give us your thoughts by leaving a comment.
And if you have a whiskey you'd like to see us share, let us know.
You don't want to miss a single episode, so subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And make sure to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to stay up to date on the Noble Dram.
And if you find watching us difficult, you can always listen to each episode on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
As always, be noble
and enjoy your dram responsibly.